Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the weirdest, most unsettling, and frankly, brilliant stories you'll ever come across. Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. All right, let's just start with a thought experiment. Seriously, what if you went to bed tonight just like any other night and woke up tomorrow as something else? Something not human. What would you even do? Well, for the poor guy at the center of our story, this wasn't some bad dream. This was the actual unbelievable reality for a man named Gregor Samsa.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about this monstrous transformation.
So, who is this Gregor Samsa? Well, he's just a regular guy, a traveling salesman, working his tail off to support his family. And then, boom, the very first sentence of the story hits you with it. No explanation, no warning. He just wakes up one morning and he's a giant insect, a monstrous vermin, as Kafka puts it. And this is where it gets really weird. You'd think the first thing he'd do is freak out, right? I mean, he's a giant bug. But no, his mind is still totally painfully human. So while his body is this horrifying creature with legs waving all over the place, his thoughts are all about, oh man, I'm going to be late for work, my boss is going to be so mad, and how am I going to pay off the family debt? It's this insane contrast that just throws you off balance right from the get-go. So, you can probably guess that things go downhill from here. This kind of change doesn't just stay behind a closed door. Let's look at how he becomes the isolated creature.
And the consequences hit him like a ton of bricks. I mean, it's instant and it's total. He can't work, so of course he loses his job. He's terrifying to look at, so he gets locked away in his bedroom. He basically becomes this hidden shame for the entire family. They won't even look at him. Suddenly, his whole world is just his room, and boom, every single human connection he had is just gone.
So yeah, it's pretty clear that this isn't just a physical thing. His new body is literally a prison. It builds this wall between him and his family, the very people he was breaking his back for, and there's just no way to cross it. Okay, so we've talked about Gregor, but what about the family? You know, how do you even begin to deal with your son suddenly becoming a giant insect? Their reaction? Well, that's where the story gets truly heartbreaking. It's like you can literally watch their love and compassion just evaporate. At first, yeah, it's total shock and horror. Then his sister, Greta, she tries. She brings him food, she takes care of him, there's a bit of pity there. But then reality sets in. They all have to get jobs, money gets tight, and that pity sours into resentment. Taking care of him isn't an act of love anymore, it's a chore. And pretty soon he's not even Gregor to them. He's just it, this thing that has to be dealt with. And that resentment leads them to this unbelievably cold conclusion. And they lay it out with this scary logical process. Step 1, they decide he's not Gregor anymore. He's just a bug. Step 2, they decide this bug is the reason their lives are so hard. It's an intolerable burden. So what's the logical final step? Step 3, it has to go. They have to get rid of it. It's just problem solving to them.
And that's what happens. He's completely neglected. He knows he's not wanted anymore. Starved of food, but probably more importantly, starved of any kind of love. He just gives up. He dies all alone on the floor of his own room.
But wait, the story's not over. And honestly, the last part might be the most chilling. Because after Gregor dies, you'd expect some sadness, right? Some grief? Nope, not at all. What they feel is relief. There's zero mourning. For his family, his death is like a giant weight has been lifted off their shoulders. They're free. And the book literally ends with them taking a nice day trip, feeling hopeful, and planning for their bright, happy future. A future that, is only possible because he's gone. Which brings us to the big, haunting question of the whole story. I mean, think about it. Gregor's change was physical. It happened to him, instantly. He didn't have a choice. But his family, their change was different. It was a choice, little by little. They went from being a family to being something else, something colder. So you have to ask yourself, who really went through the metamorphosis? Was it Gregor or was it them?